is up, YouTube? So today I'm making a video about what you should expect from Goodfellow Air Force Base at the Fire Academy. So in my opinion, one of the hardest things about the academy is the schedule. You're going to be up Monday through Friday at 3 a.m. every time you have to go to the academy. So at 3 a.m. you're getting up. By 3:30 you have to be downstairs ready to go. And then you're gonna be in formation for probably 20 minutes to 30 minutes. People are just gonna do checks to make sure everyone is downstairs. The ropes, which is the yellow, the green, and I believe it's red ropes, but there's not many red ropes because you have to be there for a while to become a red rope. So they're gonna be checking you to make sure everything is down. You have your gallon jug. So every day you have to carry around a jug full to the rim to go to the academy. And then after lunch, you also have to have a full jug. So they're gonna make sure you have all that ready to go, and they're gonna make sure that you have everything you need for the day. So I'm just reading off notes right here that I have written. So at 4 o'clock, you're gonna march to the chow hall, which is about a 10-minute walk. You'll probably get there and wait between 15 and 30 minutes to get inside the chow hall because it's gonna be closed when you get there. Once you go in, you're gonna eat. You're gonna have from 4:30 to 5 to eat what you need to do and do what you need to do in between there. After that, you're gonna march to the academy. The academy is about a mile walk, so it's a pretty decent walk every morning to do. After you do that, you're gonna get to the academy and do what you need to do to prepare for the day. So there's 5 blocks at the academy. It's like 5 different sections you need to complete to get your firefighting certs. So the first block is EMR, which is emergency medical responder. That's gonna be all the textbook work. You're gonna do a lot of medical stuff. You're gonna do a lot of hearts, anatomy of the body, emergency responding, just like your ABCs, your OPQRSTs. You'll learn a lot about that there. And then you take a test on the 5th day. If you pass, then you move on. But that test is pretty difficult. For me personally, it wasn't because I had my EMT before, so I knew a lot about it already. But this is probably going to be the block where you lose the most amount of people. There's been classes that go from 10 people to 5 people just like that, just because people really don't study for this test. I can't stress enough how much you have to be prepared for this test. It's a lot of material for just 5 days. To learn all that is very difficult for a lot of people. After you finish that block, you go to fundamentals, which is block 2. Fundamentals is a lot of just like basic firefighting, like how to tie knots, how to hoist stuff, how to climb ladders, etc., etc. So that's where you really get into the grit of firefighting. And this is when you're gonna start actually going into bunk gear, and they're gonna make sure that you know how to get in that bunk gear in under a minute. They're gonna make sure you know how to work that tank, how to breathe air, and then how to wear that mask properly. After you're done with that, I think fundamentals is 2 weeks, so 14 active days. You're gonna have 2 tests also in that block. Some people fail, some people don't. It's not really too difficult in my opinion. I don't think the whole academy is difficult at all as long as you study. You're gonna have to study. I personally did not study too much because I'm more of a person who learns a lot in lecture, and I just memorize the material. But a lot of people did fail, and I think you'll be surprised about how many people actually make it out all the way with you. I think it's like a 70% passing rate. A lot of people fell out, so just be prepared to do a lot of book work. Yeah, I was actually surprised about how many tests and how much book work you actually have to do. So block 3, suppression. This is like when you start doing all the real firefighting shit. So you're gonna start taking out fires. You're gonna start taking kitchen fires. You're gonna start taking cars and firefighting, like dumpsters and stuff like that. So this is where all the fun starts. This is where it gets pretty difficult physically. They're gonna make sure you're drinking that water every day, and you're gonna be fighting fire. So I think that is also 2 blocks, or 14 days, and there's also 2 tests in there as well. And then the 4th block, is hazmat. So this is where you're gonna learn. It's 7 days long. This is also, you're gonna be back in the classroom. This is where you're gonna learn all the fundamentals of chemistry, So like all the chemicals that you're gonna have to work with, and being aware of the dangers, etc., etc., type of chemical reactions that can occur in your field. Those tests are also pretty difficult. I would say that's probably the block that I had the most difficulty in, just because I hate chemistry and I hate chemicals and I hate memorizing chemicals names because they're insanely hard to memorize. The fifth block is probably the most fun in my opinion, is ARF. So ARF is aircraft firefighting. So once you get to aircraft firefighting, that's where it really starts to get fun. You're gonna start fighting these huge fires that they build inside, or they're all propane fires. So these huge fires, you're gonna start fighting inside the plane, outside of the plane. They're gonna teach you how to spray gas to make sure that you contain the fire, etc., etc. And I believe ARF is 11 days. So once you get to ARF, that's when you feel like you're the big guy. You're basically at graduation. But don't get it wrong, people do fail in ARF. There's this huge search, apparently, that a lot of people fail on. You have to get every step correct. I think you can get 2 things wrong, and if you fail, your buddy also fails. So most of the objectives that you do physically are with another buddy, just because firefighters are always with another person. So if you fail, you mess up your job, the other person is going to fail. So you have 5 fails throughout the academy. If you get 5 fails throughout the academy, and they can be as easy as having a watch on the pad. That was one of my personal fails that I had. I had 2 fails. One was for wearing a watch, and then one was for not having my buckle right here buckled all the way. Those are another fails. There's a lot of things, small detailed things that you can fail on, and a lot of people do, and that's the things that they get kicked out of the academy for. So you just really have to be on your A game while you're there. I recommend while you're there, just be 100% focused on firefighting. Tech school is fun, but don't let it get in the way. There's more to there. There's more of your career than tech school. Tech school, enjoy yourself on the weekends. Do what you need to do to stay sane, but also make sure you're on your A game and you're studying this material, because it is difficult. So back to the day in the life of that. Usually you do whatever you need to do. So you're gonna do your firefighting, usually from 6 o'clock to 11:30, 12 sometimes. And then after that, they're gonna give you a lunch break. Sometimes they give you until 1300, so 1 o'clock. Sometimes they give you until 12:15. It just depends on your instructor, to be honest. After you're done with lunch, so during lunch, you can go to your dorms, you can take a nap, you can do basically whatever you want, as long as you are back at the academy at 1300 ready to go. Most of the time after you get back from 1300, you're gonna be in studying, or you're gonna be doing more lectures. Sometimes if you haven't finished the objective before, they're gonna make you go back out in your sweaty bunker gear, finish the objective. So my recommendation is just really make sure that your team really gets everything they need to get done before lunch, so you don't have to go back outside in that Texas heat and do all that stuff over again. After you're done with that, me personally, I did not do PT afterwards because of the COVID stuff. We didn't have PT, but I do know that they are now doing PT. So you're gonna PT in the high bay. You're gonna do all this PTing stuff, run, etc., etc. And then after that, you can go back to your dorms. You're gonna march back to your dorms, and then you're free to do whatever you want. You can go get food, study, go to bed, whatever you want. Just make sure that you're prepared for the next day at 3 a.m. to get up, and it's a constant cycle of that. So, to be honest with you, it's physically demanding. It's gonna take over your body. I lost a lot of weight while I was in tech school. That was partially because I wasn't working out, and I also wasn't eating as much as I was before. But it's not, I don't think everyone loses weight. There's people who gained weight, and I think you just really have to focus on yourself while you're in tech school. There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of ways to get in trouble. So if you just stick to the reason why you're there, you have to find a reason as to why you're there and move on and just do that. And your goal is to get out of there. There's a lot of people who don't because of silly stuff. So just make sure that you get out of there. a firefighter. So that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions for me about firefighting, the Air Force, anything like that, just drop in the comment section down below, or you can add me on Instagram at Vic_LPH and ask me it there. Like I said, just keep your head focused and don't forget to spread that love, peace, and happiness. Enjoy yourself, have fun, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.